mission's not bad for LMGs, but I have 2 immobile classes already. Let's not make a 3rd. And definitely a med kit here if we do any suppression. 7 HP already. Okay, it's decent. Let's see. You bring something to the chat. Alright, 6 HP. Medkit. I think I will bring something else in the Rocketeer. I don't think I need a 3rd medkit right now. You think laser sight? I'm dubious about laser sight. Well, Zolts. Shotgun. What else matter? 38 will. It's okay. Probably don't need a... Could bring HP. Bring the HE grenade would be pretty valuable, I think. Alright. So Scout and the Assault have cover destruction. Rocketeer, of course, is cover destruction. 2 snipers. Alright, see how it goes.
Excellent. We look forward.
Wish me luck, guys.
Touching down.
The drop site for this operation will be in Canada.
Yeah, I hate acid clouds too. Azolader. Okay, is the map we were expecting. Thank you for that, guys. Supposedly you can tell the council missions every single time by the flavor text what map it's going to be, and that's really, really good information.
The council report indicates
That was a weird little intro with that black screen. I've never gotten black screens before. Oops, I just saved.
that a team of combat engineers led by one Sergeant Carlock has discovered environmental contamination caused by the aliens. He's going to need an evac near the other end of that pier. As always, we should eliminate any resistance encountered along the way. New objective.
They're poisoning our environment? Are they causing global warming? Explains so much. Alright. Well, this particular version of the map's a little less nice for snipers. I think this does not have line of sight. Maybe it does. That will probably have line of sight. That will likely have line of sight. But the one I was thinking has a bunch of, like, it has like a porta potty in here and something else that you can take cover behind. That's actually hard cover. This looks a little nastier. Marathon's a tank, right?
On it. Already there.
Уже иду.
Oh, not quite quick enough to go where I want to go.
Let's do
You're
this.
gonna want to get analysts on these reports ASAP. If they hit these targets, we're screwed.
Hit the targets, we're screwed. Alright, man. Good to know.
De acuerdo.
You are going to take a very prime combat role and hide right there. We'll be doing that until we clear the entire mission out, pretty much. Okay. This map has a buggy door. I don't want to hear that. We don't get warnings that they're dropping in, they just drop in? Okay, good to know. So at some point they're just going to run in and shoot us. There's no door out of this fucking thing? What? How am I supposed to advance then? Oh, there's the door. Okay.
Поняла вас.
Heading there now.
Let's make sure there aren't aliens in here.
А эти вот.
Double time.
God, that line of sight looks so shit. don't want to be this close though. For Thinmans. No one likes Thinmans. We've already had drop-ins.
After our infrastructure.
You're gonna hide in
Water
here.
treatment, electrical substations, transportation, anything they can do to slow us down.
Got it covered.
Готовность номер 1. Todo cubierto.
What was that?
This is pretty unpleasant, this mission. In terms of the cover, at least. Alright, Putin. Oh, look. 5,000 aliens were just hanging out here. What's in it?
Враг обнаружен.
That was 2 packs. What can the
Found
snipers
some
see?
kind of organic material in one of the local reservoirs. Who knows what it'll do if people drink that water?
They'll probably
Get me
die.
out of here in
Alright,
one piece, and your people can analyze these samples.
98. I like that shot. Okay. I want a rocket. Rocket right there might be good. .3. So that could be literally anywhere on the map. Alright, we'll center it right on that cover. We'll see if it actually does anything.
Boom.
Maybe boom. Alright, well, it opens up the thin bin. Can we see the thin bin? No. Too bad. That was actually a mistake to rocket there, I think. Oh well. So we're gonna get mind flayed to all fucking hell now.
Я пошла.
Should have just shot. Should have fired and shot. Like this is more aggro than I want. But the problem is the Rocketeer is stuck here now. There's 4 guys who can shoot at me. That's too many. Can I shoot the Thinman? Oh, I can shoot the Thinman. Nice, Chadron. Alright, the rocket was worth it now. The Thinman's down. It's at least half the battle.
Afirmativo. Ojo, Víctor, comandante.
They're trying to pull back.
That rocket was amazing. It was like 8 hexes away. It hit like dead on the Thinman. It was like 8 hexes away or something from the targeted position. Who can you see? Okay, hits me 21%. So I'm lucky. Okay. We have medkits. Okay, we can see this guy, 48. See that guy in the front. Okay, let's take the sniper shots. Nice. Hitting 250s in a row is pretty good.
Rolling.
Alright, Matter, go heal up the Rocketeer.
Enseguida volverás a la acción.
Tends to be a drop-in behind me, that's good to know.
Выхожу.
Keep an eye out for that.
Got it. On Overwatch.
Ясно. Буду начеку.
Affirmative. Cover it now.
Right. I want to rotate. If I can get drop-ins in over here, which I didn't know. There's actually a little cover on that side, interesting. Let's bring the scout up to there. Actually, I don't want to break that. No.
Ну же, шевелись.
I don't want to pushing too far forward because they'll get in range of the snipers. I could move him back further, like right there.
On Overwatch.
Todo cubierto. Там что-то есть.
Okay, let's go have a look at the scout.
Двигаюсь на позицию. Они отходят.
Neither sniper can see that position. Alright, Tucci grenade is cover.
Получай.
And let's follow up with Chadrell.
Moving to position.
He's not flanked relative to my position because we didn't blow up that portion. Yeah, if you say so. I'm not sure I'm buying that today, but I guess if that's it, that's all you're selling. I might want to save some of that cover for myself. Maybe. It's really annoying. I kind of want to blow a hole in this friggin' wall so I can actually do something. Like, I need like more positions I can actually shoot. Can we see from
Aye,
here?
aye, Commander.
Can.
Auf dem Weg.
Keeping him down, Commander.
Poniéndome en guardia.
Chooses to shoot at me. Okay. Hey, 68%. Nice.
Down.
What's still active? One sectoid. Fantastic. Let's Overwatch here.
Roger. I've got my eyes on.
Do I want to reposition that other sniper? Kinda. I guess no cover is a little ballsy still.
Vendrán.
Wait till we clear a little bit forward more. Next turn we'll move out. So, let's move to here.
Уже бегу.
Move my Rocketeer in. I forgot to rename the Rocketeer, damn it. Okay.
Смотрю в оба. Todo cubierto.
Assault is paranoid about these drop-ins. Okay. Nice.
Missed the target.
That's it for aggro right now. Great. Seems to be a distinctive lack of cover over here. Some idiot may have blown it all up, I guess. Where's my scout?
Выхожу.
Let's rock.
Готовность номер 1. Explorando.
Copy that.
Bin unterwegs. Nachgeladen.
Let's do this.
Okay.
Кажется, мы здесь не одни.
If they didn't drop on this roof, I'm gonna be so friggin' annoyed.
Поняла вас.
I'm rolling. That's affirmative. Eyes peeled, Commander.
Ясно. Буду на чеку.
I don't want to leave that assault all alone over there, but I really can't have a thin man spawning behind my snipers.
En guardia.
Snipers should be on the right, you think? Yeah, they probably actually would open up a lot of line of sight that way. It's actually a really good idea. I think I will reposition one of these snipers. If not both of them. Problem is, where do I put them? So they actually have any line of sight. It's going to be like right there, I guess. It's going to be, one of them is going to be in no cover. I'm kind of sure how I feel about that.
Good to go. Heading there now. Hauling ass. Roger that.
Todo cubierto. Тихо, слышишь? Уже иду. Тут становится
Alright,
жарковато.
Thinman. Just one. Either my snipers see him? Yeah, 48%. Too bad.
I'll get him next time.
Too bad my other sniper's not in position. I should have finished relocating my snipers before I did that.
Im Eilmarsch.
I'm really tempted just to rocket him. Thinman can one-shot people. Especially people with only 6 HP. So fucking tempted. 2.6 though. Should have done that before if I was going to do that. I suppose we can suppress anywhere? No, we can't get to a suppression position. So that means that Thinman gets to run around for a turn. He could come forward, he could snipe, he could kill the sniper, he could come forward, he could kill the Rocketeer, he could just shoot the scout and kill the scout. Like, fuck Thinman, right? Seriously, fuck Thinman. Yes! Thinman got rocketed to the face. So, totally worth it. Alright, let's move forward a little bit in the gunner.
Position. Roger. I've got my
Готовность
eyes
номер
on.
Afirmativo, cubriendo. Ana.
Alright, we're out of rockets, but we enjoyed them.
On my way.
Especially that first rocket.
Affirmative.
Should
Moving
have a
out.
reasonable line of sight from there.
Recibido, estoy vigilando.
Roger that. Scanning. On
Ясно. Буду на чеку. Тихо. Слышали что-нибудь?
Alright, steady weapon here, steady weapon here. Take a reload there. Overwatch. Hunker. Okay, next time we'll move up.
Выполняю.
Okay. Moving. Overwatch. Aye, aye.
FilthyRobot, en guardia.
Roger that. Scanning.
Что это было?
I pretty much don't sell secretary corpses anymore for that reason, though. There, I certainly take council requests for the scientists too, because it's too good. But alright, let's move here.
Уже иду.
No aggro. Kind of confused by that. They've been making noises like they're gonna aggro. I guess I should move the guy up and see where we get aggro from. And I really need to be in a position to cover for that if we do get some nonsense over here.
Time to motor. Moving out.
Todo cubierto.
move behind the house, past the house. Okay. I honestly don't think there's a reason to pop seekers out of stealth most of the time you fight them.
Уже бегу.
Really? Alright. I'll start moving the rest of the team up next turn if still no aggro.
Heading to that location. Roger, roger. I've got my eyes on.
А я бегу.
Что за чертовщина?
Okay. Let's see where we can put Mr. Engineer here. We get over to here. One more round of waiting for aggro. Yeah, so.
You've got a wave
There's the
of
wave.
extras closing
Okay.
on your location.
Where?
Eyes up.
That's fine.
That's a load of bull.
Is that it?
That is not good.
Just one? Yeah. Okay, what are our percentages? 68. No, unfortunately, the problem is he kills us if we fuck up these percentages. Wow. Isn't that pleasant? I don't want to reposition the snipers, I just want to shoot him. Man, but 68s are not perfect. I could take one shot, and one step, and suppress. One step doesn't trigger an overwatch. Suppress his overwatch.
Aye, aye. Ready fire.
Get back over this way for the shotgun.
Координаты получила.
Yeah, the new drop-ins are just one of the most annoying things ever. I don't think they make the game any better, they just make it more annoying. We drop in and cover. Fantastic. It's super fun for all of us. We love it when you drop in and cover. Cover, you say? That's wonderful.
Damn it. On the move.
Why not put an SMG on the Rocketeer? Because at this stage in the game, the rockets are so inaccurate that they actually need to do shooting afterwards. Later on in the game, I will put SMGs on them, but not now. Alright, you overwatched again. You just take shots. Alright, I mean, who needs experience? We need experience on our scout. Need to level them up. Everybody else, the Rocketeer needs experience, I suppose, especially since he's wounded. Alright, we'll take a shot with the Rocketeer.
Weapons empty. Can't engage. Good to go.
Hopefully that'll be it for a little bit here.
А toda leche.
Imagine if my my little engineer had been flanked by this guy though when he dropped in. I mean, I guess I could have moved him still, but I don't know. Don't know.
Ziel bestätigt.
Moving out.
Oops.
Иду. Смотрю в оба.
Orders confirmed. Moving out. Solid copy. Let's do this.
Выхожу. Готовность номер 1. Andando.
World matter. These guys haven't even seen any of this mission.
Кажется, мы здесь не одни.
Поехали. Marchando.
Headed there now. Double time.
Verstanden, Commander.
I'm on it, Commander. I feel, Commander.
Guardia. Ясно. Вражеские войска.
That's what we want to see.
Esto aus.
Yeah. From so far away. Ugh. Gotta say, squad sight is pretty satisfying when it works.
Поняла вас.
Rolling. All an ass. On Overwatch.
Double move through Overwatch.
Negative damage.
Okay, both snipers can see him. Yeah, both snipers can see him. But I don't necessarily need to use a sniper here. Use my assault.
Направляюсь на точку.
That's safer to use the snipers. 33 is not a good shot though.
I'm about to start keeping score.
Ясно. Explorando.
Come get some. I'm on it.
Oh, shooting us in light cover.
That was close.
Yeah. It's closer than we would have liked. Okay, we can run and gun this guy, I think.
В пути. Дерьмо.
Okay.
Target eliminated. Roger that. Scanning.
That's the last sectoid aggro.
Solid copy, Commander.
Let's try to get the assault a little more centralized.
Estoy en
Just in
marcha.
case the Finman drops behind us or something stupid. Oh. Alright. So that's it for active alien pods. It's just the drop-ins now. Which probably means we don't want to leave the snipers behind anymore. We probably want to move as a group here.
Got it. Moving. Moving out.
Recibido, señor.
Double time.
Эйстеш ап. Перезарядилась.
Affirmative. Reloaded.
Doors, so they look pretty good.
Andando.
Aye, aye, Commander. Got it covered.
Река аут.
Let's do this. Roger. I've got my eyes on.
Уже бегу. Действую. Recibido. Estoy vigilando.
Alright, this turn we're gonna move the guy.
Affirmative. Roger. Tracking.
In Bewegung.
On Overwatch. I'm on it.
Направляюсь на точку. Ясно. Начинаю наблюдение. Я estoy.
Enemy forces headed your way, Strike One. Get ready.
Keep them, dude. He probably can't see me from there, right? It's one tile, right? He's got line of sight. He's there. He's got line of sight like this. I move to there and just shoot him. That should be that.
Боец один.
When are you zooming away from? Just shoot him. Oh, you hit him for 4! Oh, you fuck.
Bin dran.
Okay, grenade, 100%. Yeah. Matter. You almost killed yourself. Is that what you want? It's alright, Chrono's there to get every single kill in this mission.
Affirmative.
Лечу туда.
Heading to that location. I feel, Commander. Heading there now.
Once we get these samples back,
Alright. Low roll shotgun with no crit. 66% chance to crit, 100% chance to hit. Base damage of 6. It hits for 4 and doesn't crit. It's pretty awkward. Alright, fatigue wounds. Actually, that's a real wound on top of a fatigue wound, I believe. No, it's fatigue wound doesn't matter. That's what it is. And there's a real wound over there. Okay. Denmans. 4 engineers. It's interesting.
we will be what?
Alright, what do we have going on right now? Satellites. How's the engineering facilities looking like? Digging.
Commander. We're always glad to have more help down here.
Yeah. Spin the wheel. Take a look at our new troops. Alright, we picked up, let me add these to the spreadsheet. We added Vic. Oops. Wrong parts. Who has 3 move, 3 health again. Jesus. 3 of my 4 new recruits came in with 3 health. Man, I thought the average, the friggin' mean here is supposed to be 4. I think like if you look at mode, if you look at the count, like it's like I think I'm almost like 50% 3 HP guys. It's pretty unlucky. Happens to me a lot though. I feel like that algorithm's off for calculating that. I feel like I get 3 HP guys non-stop. Alright, 67-0. Subra medium. Yeah. Also 3 HP, 12 movement, 43 will, that's huge will. 60 aim, -1 defense. Pretty much low rolled, that's all but, so the lowest roll you can get for movement is 11, the lowest hit points you can get is 3, the lowest accuracy you can get is 58, and the lowest armor is -5. You like low rolled almost everything here to get 43, that's interesting. Like just all of the stats and willpower. Guggen. I don't know. Probably a silent letter in there somewhere. 313. 26. 72. 0. Okay, another sniper. It's like the fifth sniper we picked up with these huge accuracies and no hit points. All right. Then Newman. with 5 HP at least, 13, 29, 60, and 3. Right. Oh, I know, Lobanez. I know that I'm not losing overall stats, but I feel like the distribution just on the hit points is really uncommon. Right. Well, that's what we got. Spin the wheel.
Commander, our satellite is prepped and standing by for launch. We are ready to deploy it on your orders.
Hey, any reason to wait? I don't think so. We have a full hangar. We've already got all the UFOs we're going to get this month anyway, so let's go ahead and launch. I guess I could wait for pending requests, India and France. I'm not getting those, too bad. Yeah, let's launch.
Satellite launched. Satellite uplink facilities at maximum capacity.
Okay.
Additional uplink required.
Probably one more abduction.
Excavation complete.
Dig that out.
Officer training school online.
Alright, squad size 2. Squad size, rather. Okay. Any reason not to purchase this right now? I guess I could wait till the start of the mission since there's no train time on it. But I'm glad we got that up in early March this time. Or late March, rather, instead of early April.
Incoming transmission.
We are extremely impressed with the progress of the XCOM project thus far, Commander. Your recent results were beyond our expectations, and that is not a statement this council makes lightly.
Nice. Alright, we have some serious credits out of that. 676.
New
Nice.
engineers arrived this morning, Commander. We're always glad to have more help down here.
Okay, spin the wheel.
From what little...
Laboratory.
Lab done. Do I need to be digging out this stuff yet? I don't think so. I am gonna want good stuff down here. Maybe. Yeah, we have a lot of cash right now. I'm gonna probably be investing in some interceptors. And I want another laboratory as soon as we can, but I'm pretty sure I can't until 19 scientists, which I don't think we're very close to. Their research, wherever the fuck that is.
Appreciate your
Yeah, we're
efforts to
6
support
scientists
the
away.
research team, Commander.
We need some scientists. Spin the wheel.
Excavation complete.
Scientists, absolutely. Okay, we can build some alloy plating. It's fantastic. I want to get UFO analysis scout.
I appreciate your efforts to support the research team, Commander. I've already put the new recruits to work in the lab.
Right, I probably want about 4 of the stupid things. They don't break anymore, so that's a little bit better. Four? I think 4. They're so useful for so long. Buy a workshop? I don't think so, man. I don't think so. I want a workshop. The timing on my workshop, I want it to arrive about the time. First of all, I can't. It's 4 power. or at least 4 power. I can't build anything until I get the next generator up. The other thing I need to worry about is I need to get another access list down here. I need to dig out the steam and get a fission generator building in there, or not a fission, a thermal generator building in there. And I'm probably going to be, if and when I do workshops, it's probably going to be this block here. So I want to get workshop. I don't mind getting a workshop done before I get the first round of lasers, but I don't think I need it for alloy platings. I mean, it's nice, but oh well. Right.
Commander, we have multiple reports of new abductions
April.
in progress.
April is my least
Abductions are
favorite
marked
month.
on the hologlobe.
Just fucking flat out hate April. Alright, let's go ahead and get out. Well, least favorite month in the early game. I'll say that. I hate a lot of the later months too. Alright, officer training school. Let's go ahead and get squad size 2. Okay. More interceptors for sure. Think I should get them now. Could get them now. I need to save cash for that in 4 days, so I could do 1 interceptor right now. What else do I want? A lab, as soon as I can. How long on the lab? Lab has to wait for the power anyways, doesn't it? So, okay. In other words, we could get another interceptor right now. Hey, let's do our first fucking floater thin bullshit mission. I hate the new April. It used to be a mix of like floaters and sectoids. It's now like a mix of almost entirely thin men and floaters, which are 2 of my least favorite enemies, especially early. Like, they're so annoying. Alright, we need to start thinking about promotions too. Man. Do I want to do that now, or do I want to call it for today and work on promotions on my own time? I don't know. We have a lot of 3 HP guys. Lobanez, where do I find the power in my build right now to build a workshop, buddy? You know, the limiting factor, we've already talked about how the grand strategy for this game right now is going for us, right? This is the plan. This is why we're going as Mexico. This is why we're going as North America. We want to get air superiority, which we're going to have, to the point where we can shoot down every single UFO. As soon as I get air superiority and start stockpiling enough interceptors, I want to expand continents so I can get double the air superiority. The plan is to fuel from into lasers. So we're gonna tech for UFO techs. We're gonna get Scout and Destroyer, probably Scout and Raider. It's probably the 2 we end up getting first because they're the common ones we're gonna get. We're going to go from there, again, that's for alloys. We're going to be teching for the mech bay tech, whichever that is, the mech tech, which is the one that gives you floater autopsies so we can get boosters for our air game. While we're doing this, we're going to be getting lasers and getting laser cannons on our air game, as well as just lasers in general for our troops. And what we're hoping to do is get 2 labs early so that we can we can catch up in science, so we can still get all these benefits to the air game while still getting to the next tier of armor, not the carapace armor, but the tier after that, roughly the same time we get the Gauss, which lets us deal with the fucking mid-game, like one-shotting our guys. Meanwhile, we have to focus on getting enough guys leveled. We've fatigue spiraled every single time we've hit past September or October. Every single game we've ended has ended with a fatigue spiral, and that was with a barrack size of like 50 to 55. So what I'm aiming for is I want a barrack size of around 60 right now if I can do it, which means I need rookies. I need to find time to level them. So we just did this, Lobanez. We just did a game with air superiority. I just played that. That was the last playthrough, and we weren't actually ally starved for large portions of that. We were mostly actually cash starved. So we'll see. I mean, certainly, I'm not arguing that a workshop isn't going to be useful, but it's not in the build order for the early game. The most important things are getting those labs up as soon as possible and then starting on the air game, right? So we're power blocked right now. The way the base layout works for this, if you look at the base layout, where are we going to be building power? We're going to be building a third power facility here as soon as we can. That will be the thermal generator. We're going to be putting a power generator here. We're going to need these spots for satellite uplinks and likely these spots for satellite uplinks. This is probably going to be our capture facility. This is probably going to be our second lab. Potentially, I could start a workshop or a repair bay down here. Repair bay is a lot less important now that I've disabled repair as a feature because I fucking hate repair. And then probably the rest of my power goes in here, like this corner and that corner. So. Shivs can help a lot with fatigue. I don't like them, Chrono. Like, my issue is that I can't seem to level enough. I don't know. Maybe I should use them. It seems like a bunch of alloys wasted for, like, if I'm not using a bunch of shivs, it seems like a bunch of alloys wasted for such a tangential portion of the game. Yeah, I mean, the timing, I'd like my first workshop rolling out about the same time that I want to get lasers. Start building the lift now. Yeah, that's a good idea. I actually should have started that the first of the month, because I need to dig this shit out, which is going to cost me quite a bit. Yep, we're going to be power blocked. That's okay, because the goal probably is to get that power generator started by sometime around the end of the month. We'd like, I don't know, maybe we can even rush it. We'll have to see what it looks like. But the goal is probably month 3 to month 4 start expanding our satellite coverage. So. Anyways. What are we doing? We're putting off doing a floater mission because I don't want to do assignments on my guys because I don't want to assign guys until I know what I want to do with them. Yeah, that 600 space bucks went pretty quick. You have to use grenades. I mean, that's Chrono's point, is that grenades are also something that reduce the bonuses you get from completing the missions, but they're pretty necessary to completing the campaign. I don't know. I don't really want to build a shiv. It feels like I have to tech all this shit to get a shiv. What's the minimal amount of Foundry projects I actually have to do, Chrono, to get a shiv that's going to help me? I don't like the 100 alloy cost of alloy shivs either. It seems ridiculous. That's so much. And the other thing about those, Chrono, is that to actually protect yourself from a fatigue spiral using shivs, you pretty much have to throw a shiv into each mission. And if you're throwing a shiv into each mission, because what you got to plan for is like the 5 or 6 missions in a row that screw you, not the one mission, right? I don't know. Okay, what are we doing? We're doing a roadway map with floaters. One of my snipers is ready to go. Both of my snipers are ready to go. Could bring 2 snipers again on a roadway map. Depends which roadway map it is, really. Although snipers aren't all that great. I mean, versus floaters. I mean, I could even try Deadeye. We could go for some Deadeye snipers, right? Who was going to do Snapshot? I mean, if I were to do a sniper with Deadeye, the type of sniper I'd want to do is in the zone, right? That's what I'd want, which is snapshot build. So, but I couldn't even figure out in the zone build that actually made me like happy with life. God, I don't like the idea of picking up Deadeye on snipers. It just seems so much worse than Lone Wolf. So Sui, what are you picking up as precision slash disabling slash whatever? The problem is too, like, can I really, if I have a, so I did, okay, let me, I think guys, we're gonna transition into spreadsheet mode for a while here. So let's do some talking, let's do some theory crafting on stream, right, as we talk about this. Okay, so let me go ahead and make sure the game is not running. So let's quickly have a quick save here, as opposed to slowly having a quick save. All right, let's go back to the barracks to pause time. And let's go ahead and share screen with you guys looking at my spreadsheet, right? So, okay, there we go. And I'll put that down below. All right, so I'm still in the picture a little bit. Just my head anyways, because the fucking Zoom doesn't stay. I really need to talk to Zero. I wonder if Zero's going to be around today at all. Okay. But anyways, let's talk a little bit about what we're looking at. Yeah, if you're bored with spreadsheets, it might be time. You can consider me calling the stream right now in terms of gameplay. I may or may not do a mission, but I want to talk about a little bit of theory crafting and assign some of my promotions to my troops. So if this bores you, it's okay. Consider it the end of the day, and we'll move on. So, all right. But what are we doing with this? Oh, and I missed a donation. I missed a donation from Billy quite a while ago. It looks like, oh no, only 3 minutes ago. Okay, so Billy donated soldier with classic yellow and blue getup, please. Rocketeer again, sure. Let's have a quick look. Billy. And he wants a Rocketeer in yellow and blue. All right. But anyways, let's go back to the theory crafting. Okay. So this is what I'll talk you through what I'm planning on running on this playthrough, right? So I'm running 2 sets of assaults. I actually really like the rapid fire build. I'll try to remember matter. I really like the rapid fire build with them. I found that very useful, but I found it situationally useful. So I think I will be building some like that for rapid fire. And although I would rather have done it the other way, it seemed to fit the build order better to be running gun, close combat specialist, ranger, rapid fire, killer instinct, sprinter, and vital points targeting together for that. Ended up with a different build over here. These are for the lower willpower ones and also slightly faster ones. These would be the combination exalt, whatever they're called, relay clickers, the relay runners, I guess, and also another type of damage assault. So those are the 2 assault builds I'm going to be building. Ended up with 3 infantry classes. I'm right on the edge of whether or not I'm going to bother with Overwatch infantry. Last run through, they were doing okay, but not amazing. I mean, the crit DPS infantry were doing fucking amazing last run through. They were like the backbone of like missions where you had to have shit die in a reasonable amount of time, and they got a lot better with Gauss rifles. And the tank class, I think I'm going to keep that way as well. I don't think I'm going to make the tank class an officer anymore. I think they may go psionic so I can get access to the psi shield, which I didn't get last time. Rocketeers, I still can only see, they're interesting, Morton. They're helpful for you early on. Is that because you're picking up, it seems like, why? Why are they helpful for you early on? I mean, in March, I don't need them. Yeah, and that's the other problem, right? Is that they really aren't stronger until they get Sentinel, and Sentinel is so late. And even then, like, man, like a lot of the times I just want to shoot something and have it die. I don't want it to be like, I mean, so many times Overwatch is wasted. It's wasted by drones. It's wasted by like mechtoids running around with like shields up. It's wasted by like heavy floaters or floaters. It seems like it's so hard for Sentinel to, it's so hard for Overwatch to be better than just having control of where I get to shoot. So I'm on the edge, right, of not wanting Overwatch in my builds at all. I mean, it's super good in March, but it's super good in March because it's a whole different strategy in March. As soon as you hit the real months, the game changes, and you don't have that same ability to lose line of sight, shoot them as they move forward, and be okay, because suddenly it's a mechtoid, and as the mechtoid moves forward, it runs through, doesn't give a shit about cover, looks at one of your guys, and instantly kills him if it gets a shot off. So, yeah, I don't know. I can't deal with any rocket builds that aren't pretty much directly what we're using here, because they just seem pointless to me. If I'm going to build Overwatch, infantry does it better. The same with gunners, right? Gunners are super, super useful for other things. If I'm going to be building a gunner into an Overwatch, why did I build a gunner instead of just an infantry with it? And that's my same problem with Overwatch Rocketeers and Overwatch Medics. Infantry do it better. So why am I bothering to do it with Medics or Rocketeers? Yeah, but Billy brings up an interesting point. He says, so what about when you have 2 infantry in your squad? You can have one who's the crit infantry and one who is a Overwatch infantry. The problem is, who do I cut to get 2 infantry into a squad? It always feels like maybe there's room for 2 guys some of the time, but it always feels like to me the guys that you can bring 2 of are damaged, like are things like engineers who have very, very different roles, like support engineer versus destruction engineer, or you can bring something like double suppression, because double suppression is amazing. So. Axiom says, sorry to lurk, no problem, man. Always feel free to chime in on the conversations in this channel. And says, Overwatch infantry are amazing against heavy floaters when you use Mimic Beacon with high will side guys. I don't really know what Mimic Beacon does. I've never used it. Oh, it's so they're not useless after they fire their rockets? But man, like, what do you sacrifice to give that up? I mean, let's do this. Let me see if I can get a web browser up too, and we can actually look at the builds together. So, let me just pull it up on Long War. Probably need a different window for this, don't I? So I don't get chat, so I can read chat still. Where is it? Let's have a look at the Rocketeer builds together. Because this always kills me when people are like, yeah. Is the suppression hit percentage fixed? I'm not sure there was ever. I'm not sure what bug you're referencing when you say that. All right, let's go ahead and add a window capture. Okay. Why can't it see it? Dashboard. I don't want to be within that. There it is. Okay. All right. The problem is with Rocketeers, you need to study every round anyways to get the 100% accuracy rocket. So I mean, all right, let's take a look at this together. What are we giving up to get to an Overwatch build, right? So you're going to need, if you're going to be building Overwatch, I assume you're going to need something like Rapid Reaction. I assume you're going to need something like Opportunist. So we're giving up, at the very least, we're giving up Mayhem and we're giving up Fire in the Hole, both of which to me are amazing rocket abilities. And then what else? That's pretty much the minimum you could do for that, right? I suppose you could take Ranger instead of Heat, but I really like my Heat warheads, especially when I need a mech to die. But so the Fire in the Hole, this is like one of the, I mean, so what would you do? So you would drop a rocket and build, like, put a scope on them and go Overwatch? Yeah, Overwatch shots do, if you're Overwatching or especially suppressing, when you do that, you're pretty much always going to end up with shooting through cover. So, I mean, Rapid Reaction's awful. Take platform stability. It's the same thing. It's the same thing as Fire in the Hole. I don't actually think it is really, or at least I don't think it's as valuable, because with the way it goes like this is, one, you're leveling a Rocketeer. Rather than take platform stability, just take a friggin' scope, right? So you drop. So take Shredder ammo as an actual perk that gives you an extra Shredder rocket. Then and then your inventory for your Rocketeer looks like one rocket, one scope. And then what happens there is you basically have the same targeting as if you had platform stability, but once you get to a point where you no longer need the scope, you can have an extra rocket. So then you end up with 2 Shredder rockets and 3 regular rockets, which makes your Rocketeers just like you can launch a rocket whenever you need to, and you don't have to worry about hoarding them. And that's the problem I end up with that, right? It's like, yeah, I could drop Mayhem, but Mayhem's really, really, really good. It's extra damage on all of my my rocket launchers, which is what you need to keep the damage scaling, especially when you're running like heat warheads as well, so you can do this to mechs. It just feels like every time I look at the Overwatch builds for this, I'm like, why would I want the Overwatch builds relative to what's going on? And the fact is, whenever I move Rocketeers around, I'm always steadying them anyways, because I need those dead accurate rockets. And then that's the third thing, right? Even if I am overwatching with Rocketeers, most of the times what I want to bring on Rocketeers is I want to bring the smaller lasers. I want to bring the, whatever they're called, the stutter gun when it's Gauss, the SMG when it's ballistics. I can't remember what it's called when it's a laser. But the point being that why would I want to overwatch with a low damage, low rounds weapon? It just seems like to me, personally, my take on it is I give up too much to make them. They don't get enough back for sacrificing all their rocket abilities, right? At that point, if I'm going to make them have very weak rockets, and so they do a mix of Overwatch, it just feels like, fuck it, it's not bother. So, all right, that's my take on the Rocketeers. And judging from what you guys are saying, you're telling me that, yeah, basically drop fire in the hole, pick up rapid reaction, maybe pick up platform stability or Shredder and get a accuracy mod, and then take opportunist. And it just doesn't feel worth it to me. I don't feel like that sacrifice is worthwhile on those. And I'm not even, and so much so that I'm not even like interested in trying it. So, all right, let's go back to looking at spreadsheet, talk about the rest of the builds, and then we can go on with the rest of this. So let me find my spreadsheet. All right, so infantry-wise. Interesting luminous. Infantry-wise, again, like the crit DPS one seems pretty solid to me. I do wonder a little bit about what I want to get with the last one. Extra conditioning looks pretty damn good, but crit infantry is so good. The tank infantry seem pretty solid as well. They actually can tank because suppression pretty much makes aliens shoot at you. And then they're not amazingly useful later, but I'm hoping if I get psionic gear on them, they might actually have some utility as well. So perhaps that will be decent for that. Overwatch infantry, they just seem like worse crit infantry to me, right? I am going to pick up Executioner. I haven't done that before. My crit infantry, I may regret that because I may be pissed off when I deal with Berserkers from the extra panic trains this causes. But I kind of like Executioner, and I'm starting to see issues with accuracy once I'm dealing with heavy floaters. And I really would like to have the infantry hitting almost every single time. Overwatch, guys. I struggle with this build just a little bit. I hate a lot of the things that I take here because a lot of the Overwatch builds seem to give up damage, right? So we lose either Steadfast or Executioner, both of which are really good perks for covering fire. Yeah, covering fire is pretty shit. Mostly because I don't want to be shooting at aliens in hard cover or light cover or whatever it happens to be with covering fire, but you kind of need it if you're going to go Overwatch stuff. Opportunist, if you're going to synergize with Sentinel anyways. Opportunist is also so-so, like certainly if you need to be using Overwatch, it's a big damage buff, but you lose out on aggression or will to survive, both of which are excellent perks as well, especially for infantry. Infantry do a lot of shooting when there's full guys on the board. Deadeye versus Ranger, this is a really hard one for me. It feels like Ranger is just so good on classes that shoot twice, right? Like on infantry, Ranger is +1 damage on your primary weapon, and it stays that way twice, so it's really +2 damage. So I'm not entirely sure about that quite yet. They're one of the better options versus Berserkers and Mutons because you don't panic off Overwatch fire. Yeah, or I could pick Steadfast and get a crit infantry, and then I don't panic off Overwatch fire as well, or panic off Mutons as well. But, yeah, I don't know. Deadeye versus Ranger is a hard one for me. I'm not going to be putting trophies on them to see. We'll see. Lock and load seems like a given for, if I'm going to go Overwatch, I have to go lock and load, but that means I lose Sharpshooter, and Sharpshooter is +10 aim versus guys in hardcover, as well as plus 10 crit permanently. So now we've lost 40% crit between aggression plus sharpshooter relative to the crit DPS ones. We pick up Sentinel as opposed to bring them on, so we lose all of our extra damage from critting. So now there's not a whole lot of point in critting on these guys. And then we pick up vital point targeting. So basically, the Overwatch guy seems to me, it gets an extra shot with Sentinel. So that extra shot needs to make up for the crit damage loss that they get from this. And it's not going to be better or equal to that until Sentinel. And then even then, if I take Deadeye instead of Ranger, they don't hit very hard. So yeah, when I'm not shooting flying units, suddenly I'm not hitting very hard at all. And I'm a little worried about that. Like, we need the infantry to be killing things extremely, extremely fast. So, yep, Ryuki. I'm interested in neural dampening on some of these guys too. All right, we talked about Rocketeers. That seems to me the build seems really simple on Rocketeers, and it doesn't seem very flexible. There's a bunch of perks that boost rockets, and those are the things that are interesting to me. They do so much better. All right, but I may still make a couple Overwatch infantry just to see. I'm not done testing them yet. I got to see. You know, the other thing is I watched some replay of someone doing, I think it was a base assault. He was doing a base assault with like 3 infantry, like 2 gunners and a couple other classes, but all of his infantry were Overwatch and all of his gunners were infantry, or were Overwatch as well. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, maybe the problem with Overwatch is maybe it's better if you have a lot of Overwatch class troops, but it's not so good if you have like 1 or 2 Overwatch guys thrown in. So. I don't know, Lobanez brings up the point that when you're shooting hardened targets, you don't get a lot of crits anyways, but I don't know. Seems like they still have pretty high. If you're getting boosted, 40% crit before items. So once you're getting items, you're probably getting 50% crit. That's pretty big. All right, gunners. There's 2 gunner builds that appeal to me. I'm still not entirely sure what I think about the Mayhem gunners. They're okay, I guess. Suppression is just really, really valuable. So for me, the build for the suppression gunners is going to be suppression, hollow targeting, shredder ammo, will to survive, double tap, danger zone, and mayhem. Will to survive because gunners get shot at non-stop. I'm also going to be putting, I think, some emphasis on defense value for gunners because, again, they get shot at non-stop. Hollow targeting because if I'm going to be suppressing anyways, I might as well get hollow targeting on targets. And, of course, mayhem once you get it. It's the last promotion, unfortunately, so it's very, very late. But once you get Mayhem and Danger Zone, you can actually apply Shredder ammo to everything. As I think this is a pretty standard build for people who play Long War. And then, of course, Heat Gunners. And Heat Gunners seem really, really good to me. But again, I have a hard time. It's like the same problem when I have 2. If I have the option on a mission, do I want to bring a Heat Gunner or a Suppression Gunner? And do I want to bring a Overwatch Infantry versus a DPS or a Crit Infantry? I always feel like I'd rather bring the Crit Infantry and I'd rather bring the Heat Gunner. So, I don't know. But anyways, this gunner, suppression, flush, heat ammo, will to survive. I'm not sure if I'm going rapid fire or double tap yet. Rapid fire is probably better versus mechanical targets, but I don't seem to be spending a lot of time with gunners. I don't seem to shoot every single turn with the gunner, right? It seems to be more like suppress the unit if it's still alive. If you can finish it off, take some shots. So I don't know that double tap is better than rapid fire if you're using if you're not shooting twice every single turn, right? Because you don't get the accuracy penalty. But then again, rapid fire can be comboed with command, which is really, really good. So, well, in that case, Lobanez, we're still losing damage targets, damage abilities on those guys. So I don't know. But anyways, and then I'm undecided about platform stability versus resilience later on for Heat, and Mayhem still looks pretty damn good here. So. Donation from the Python, who donates $5, and he says, loving the streams. I'd like to get a Brit male if you can. I do believe I have 2 British guys on the team right now. I'm not sure if either of them are male. I'll have a look in a little bit, but absolutely I'll add it to the list of guys that I'm giving out. So cheers, thanks for the donation, the Python, and we will start on doing that when we can. All right. Okay, going back on to our builds. Double tap with people for LMG. But that's the other thing, right? Like, is there a distinction between builds and weapons, right? So as a gunner, you have the option of the SAW or the LMG being the long-range one and the SAW being the one that you can move and shoot with. The problem is that when you start in reality, it's more along the lines of what is your squad made up of? Do you need long range versus short range? Not so much how are they spec'd, and then also how fast are they? Because the LMG is a lot better on a very, very slow character. But the thing is, it's really nice to be mobile with the heat gunners, because a lot of the times you don't always have line of sight on mechs. Mechs have really annoying line of sight because they don't use cover, so they don't peek out of the corners. So if you don't have direct line of sight on them, like you sometimes can't shoot them at all, which means that, I don't know. Anyways, which again argues for rapid fire a little bit. So. What else? Could I have erased you and matter from the list? I did, Mr. Offline, because I've already given you characters. So, or at least I have from matter. I think I did for you already too, but we're gonna look again later. So, what else? So moving on, scouts. I'm looking to kind of playing around with an in the zone build for scouts, but at the moment I don't know if I'll actually end up building this or not. Yeah, but it's on that individual turn, Lobanez, right? When you aggro that pack and there's like 2 mechtoids running around, and you need to get damage on kill one of those mechtoids, and you suddenly find out you're not mobile. You're not mobile because you don't have fucking line of sight, and there's just nothing you can do about that. Scouts, there's 2 of them over here. So the one that, of course, we're going to be using, which is just the basic recon scout, which is you know, lightning reflexes, hull targeting, ranger. Ranger could be Deadeye, could be low profile. It's really kind of up in the air what I'm going to get on that. Battle scanner, concealment, sprinter, and then either vital points targeting or extra conditioning. Probably extra conditioning, but maybe vital points targeting. So, Blitz scouts, I really like them. I liked hit and run a lot on the scouts I was using last game. That seemed really, really good. Those will be slightly higher aim, and they'll be an aggression build. That means they don't get battle scanners. I'd really like to fit in more battle scanners in the builds, but I just don't know where they're going to go. And then looking at something perhaps for air cleanup. This is the problem with the snipers, right? We'll get to snipers. I mean, this is the whole reason why I'm doing this. I want to talk about snipers, but I wanted to go through the other builds while we're right here with them. So we're going to save snipers for last. So low profile given, no, it does not give concealment on half cover. Yeah, but Lobanez, you can say that, but when shit hits the fan, you're not always going to be in the position. No matter how carefully you pre-position, sometimes you get an aggro from a pack that passed into you, or that, you know, aggro's on some weird fucking thing, or mid move or something like that. It's a matter of contingency, right? Yeah, you can say the same thing about snipers, right? Why would you ever take snapshot? It's just about pre-positioning. Well, the fact of the matter is that's not always an option. So, all right. Let's talk about, we'll do medics and engineers. I think my support medics and support engineers are going to be the officers around this run. I'm going to be doing a pure healing medic build. This is just going to be for the longer missions, like gangplank or base assaults or base defenses, probably not base defenses, but base assaults, downed larges, things like that, where you need just a pure healer. That's going to be all the heal perks, and they're just not going to be doing combat, really. So, is hull targeting worth it? Hull targeting is really, really good. I mean, when you start shooting with the actual damage dealers like infantry, like having hull targeting is amazing. Medics, the support medics are going to be very similar. This is the problem with the support medic to me, right? The support medic is basically a support engineer. They basically do exactly the same thing, except one of them gets fucking range early. So, you know, the difference is this medic carries 1 healing kit for free. Yeah, okay, great, that's amazing. But maybe it would be okay, you know, sometimes in missions I only want 1 to 2 healers, like on the very, very short missions, like abductions and terror missions and stuff like that. So yeah, pretty standard. Destruction engineer for grenades. Support engineer is basically the same thing as the support medic. The problem is I can't seem to find where I would actually get, like, giving up dense smoke seems to be like criminal to me. Like, but you can't really give up mayhem on a grenade engineer either. So I don't really know where the hell I fit, battle scanners in. I'd love to fit them. But medics do get suppressed a little tiny bit earlier. That's true. Yeah, so we'll see. And it might be nice. Like, I certainly could use some suppression in April. So it would be good to get the earlier suppression. So. All right, let's talk about snipers. This is why I brought this spreadsheet up at all, because this is where I'm struggling with what I want to do with them. All target is even good with assaults. What are we doing with snipers? So this is the build that always makes the most sense to me, right? This is the perk that, I mean, what you want from a sniper, at least in the early game, you want your sniper to kill a target. And it's like the oh shit, like, okay, you have a bunch of aggro, kill that target right now. And that's what they do. And Squad Sight, Lone Wolf, Precision Shot, Ranger, Vital Point Targeting, Bring 'em On, and Mayhem are pretty much perfect for that, right? Yeah, but engineers don't really have any important conflicts with suppression either. You know, grenade engineers don't really want to be suppressing. They want to be throwing grenades and shotgunning things and capturing stuff. And the support engineers are totally happy to suppress. There's no conflict there either, Lovinus. Field Surgeon is not really a good perk. It's okay. I don't even take lock and load on all my infantry, Lovinus. I don't think it needs it on crit infantry. But anyway, snipers. So the problem is, what do I do about precision shot, which is, or not precision shot, about disabling shot, which is fairly good, and when do I use snapshot? I've never got to air armor yet, so I don't know, maybe like in the zone is only an air armor thing. But even then, like, what am I going to do the rest of it? Like, some of the time, I kind of wish... So the other thing, alright, precision shot really isn't very good for marksman rifles. And snapshot, of course, doesn't really influence rifles. But you can use disabling shot with marksman rifles. Now, the problem is that snipers don't have any hit points, so putting them in the front line is fairly suicidal most of the time. But maybe you could use them as like a mid-range damage dealer that hopefully doesn't get shot at too much, although mechtoids are just going to charge in and shoot them anyways. But I don't know where I want to build them. Where do I find, like, anytime I get stats that are snipers with a decent amount of HP, they should be something else. They should probably be infantry, because they need to be closer, right? Infantry and snipers have almost exactly the same stats they need, except snipers don't need the health. So, I don't know. Flanking doesn't seem to be a realistic strategy to me, Zoldair, in general. There's too much of a chance to aggro. Like, yes, if you get individual flanks off, that's fantastic. But most of you can't go just like run a guy really, really wide all the time because you just aggro too many packs. Yeah, it's a Tsui, but when? So here's what we're talking about, right? The difference between Deadeye and Lone Wolf. This is really what prompted this whole discussion, right? So when are we using snipers that are close enough to your group that they need to be using Deadeye and not Lone Wolf because they're not getting Lone Wolf bonuses, but aren't close enough to the enemy to be getting one shot? That's an interesting question too. Lock and load versus bring them on snipers. I mean, if you're using the Gauss rifle, you really kind of need lock and load to actually have an extra round so you can actually do something with your sniper. But at the same time, man, I don't want to give up bring them on. Bring them on's pretty good. I mean, I guess snipers don't always have good sight, so maybe it's not as good as it sounds. But I mean, what position, what scenario are we looking at where I'm using a sniper and he's close enough to my guys that he's not gonna get Lone Wolf, but he is far enough from the enemy that I want him stationary and shooting. I just never run into that scenario. Either my snipers are too close and I need to move them back because otherwise they're going to get one shot because they don't have any health, or they're not. And if they're not, then why do I care? Why wouldn't I take Lone Wolf over Deadeye? Yeah, it does allow for using two, but even when you have two, it's almost better to spread them out so you get the flank shot angles. Bring him on's good with precision shot, but that build is taking precision shot, P. Peter. Snapshot uses Gauss rifle very well. Yeah, I'm kind of getting to the point that that you have found, Lobanez, that most of the time I'd rather have an LMG gunner than I would a sniper. Not always, but a lot of the time I would. Which is weird that like the class that may not be a class I want to bring is sniper. Yeah, that's true. Sometimes you are out of range with LMG gunners. But put it this way, chronometrics though, right? Let's think about that logic. Sometimes you're just a little bit out of range with your LMG gunner. So you have a sniper. So why doesn't your sniper have fucking Deadeye? If he's far enough away that he's out of range of the alien by more than 5 tiles, where is your group of guys that is engaging that alien? I mean, that means, like, think of the situation right there, right? Your LMG gunner's here. The alien's 21 tiles that way, right? Because you have 15 range plus 5 from the LMG squad site, so that means he's 21 tiles that way. Where's your group of guys? Your group of guys is probably right in between the two of them. In which case, why don't you have a sniper with fucking Lone Wolf? Yep, that's true, Solidarity. Exactly. You always want that little bit of extra movement or a little bit of extra damage. Yeah, I agree, Chrono. I'm a proponent of Lone Wolf. Hey, Expida, thank you very much for the 9th month, man. Very, very pleased about that. Let me go ahead and update the sub goal. You won't see it on the screen, but we just went from 11 to 12 on the XCOM sub goal. So, why no low profile on the marksman sniper? Because I don't really want to waste a perk on low profile is what it boils down to. What's the crit modifier on precision, Tsui? Where are you getting 100 crit from versus a floater? Floaters are... What, are they hardened? I don't remember how flying works with crit. It's interesting, Lebanese. So let's look at the sniper build you guys are talking about. I'm going to open up that browser again somewhere. So let's go back and find a sniper build. So snapshot is an in the zone thing. It's the only thing that's the only sense I can make out of snapshot, right? Like if you're going to be using snapshot regularly, you just bring. If you're going to have the need of using this regularly, you just don't, right? Like this is you just bring a different class. Switch out executioner with VPT. Oh, I have a quick look at that. Yeah. So anyways, for this stuff, right? So let's forget about the in the zone sniper for a minute because that's going to be quite a ways down the line, right? So what about in the meantime? So we're talking about lone wolf versus precision shot. We're talking about lone wolf versus. We're talking about this tier, these two tiers, right? So. I mean, precision shot is like what makes snipers for me. It's so good. It lets you one-shot things, and that's pretty huge. So it's plus 30% crit, right? So what are we actually looking at for crit then? So how does it work, guys, for a floater? How does it work on a flying target? What's the crit chance versus a flying target, like a non-mechtoid, like not a cyber desk, but versus floaters and heavy floaters? What's the actual crit chance? Just base. Do they have any crit protection or no? They must. You never crit floater. You don't crit floaters nonstop. So they probably have like just base protection, right? It's probably hardened. I mean, when do I bring snipers? I bring 2 snipers generally on. You believe it's 0 at squad sight range? I guess we could look that up too. Hold on. Here's a floater. Doesn't actually tell me. Yeah, Sasui, I'm curious where you're getting your stats from on that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it feels like snipers are useful. They're really good on roadway maps because roadway maps are very long range with very good sight. Non-roadway maps are pretty shit for snipers in general. Occasionally, they're good on like a landed large. It's nice to have them on, and some of the council missions. But council missions is kind of scary to have snipers on because they're absolutely fucked if there gets a drop in with Overwatch behind them. I don't bring snipers very often on UFO maps because they don't help at all with dealing with the outsiders pretty much. Yeah, Force is okay for snipers. I mean, that's true. Some of the outdoor UFO maps are pretty decent. Just makes me wonder, like, when do I bother? And then the worst part about snipers is when you get burned, right? When you bring them. Okay, 20% from the weapon, 12% from narrow gun link, 30% from precision shot, 6% from bipod, 10% from platform. What is that? Let me add that up real quick. So what did you say? You said 20, 12, 30, 6, 10, 10. So that's 88% there, Tsutsui. So if you really wanted to guarantee a shot, you'd take 10 more. You take 10 more from Lone Wolf and get 98%. Oh, Mind Merge, that's interesting. I've never had Mind Merge. And you lose 20 for that on top of that from squad sight, so you're down to 68. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how you guarantee crits with snipers unless they're not at squad sight range. But if you're not using squad sight range, then what are you doing? Not sure this answered any questions from you guys. Some problems I've been having when I think about building snipers. Precision shot doesn't get the squad sight penalty. It also doesn't get a damage bonus on marksman rifle. Oh, I see. Oh, I see what you're saying on precision shot. When you mean when you're using it on a sniper rifle, it doesn't lose the 20 crit. That's interesting. So it's actually plus 50 crit is what it is. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay. All right. Well, let's go back to the original question. The original question is, how are we building snipers? The snipers that we have to bring on this mission, how are we going to build them? And what do we need them to do? Okay. Lone Wolf is another 10% on what we wrote. Why don't I want to make a lock and load double tap sniper? I'm not sure I know what that is. Alright guys, I think I might call this today. Put a little bit of thought into my sniper build and think about how I'm going to assign my rookies. We're probably doing XCOM tomorrow, so if you guys are interested in continuing with the campaign with me, come back tomorrow. And well, I've made some decisions. We'll probably live to regret those decisions, at least temporarily. But I mean, I kind of want some some troops that are decent for dealing with, some guys that are decent for dealing with friggin' floaters early, and floaters early, and then heavy floaters in the mid game, right? Because I mean, Deadeye. It feels like if I could find a way to make Deadeye better, like it would be okay. But it's just